Hello, hello, Leanne Schweitzer of Our Family Rides, and I help free thinkers launch a profitable and successful online business. And I'm here to speak to you today about the cost of investing versus the cost of staying stuck, right? So often, so many of us consider the cost of investing, right? And maybe it's causing a little bit of hindrance in you, right? And so what I really want to put into your universe today is this idea of the cost of staying stuck. What is it costing you to stay stuck, to stay exactly where you are? If you look to your future vision, right, 12 months down the road, right, if you put yourself in that vision of 12 months down the road and you are in the exact same place as you are right here, right now, right, the cost of staying stuck is costing you your dreams. Not only that, is costing you the ability to dream even bigger, right? Because there is a really, really incredible, beautiful world out there. And so many of us, a prior version, myself included, right, just got stuck on this idea of investing, right? We are not taught about financial literacy in schools, right? And the way that you get educated on financial literacy is continued education. Where that continued education comes is after college, after the education, right? You continue to read books, right? Books are where all of the answers are, in my opinion, right? And so some of the books that have absolutely changed my life and really educated me on financial literacy have been books by Robert Kiyosaki, most specifically. So Rich Dad Poor Dad was the one that opened up my world. Cash Flow Quadrant really shifted everything for me. And then the one that I'm currently just finished reading is Why the Rich Are Getting Richer. And if this triggers you in any way, shape, or form, that's totally okay. What is financial education really, right? And so what I really want to show you is on the back here, right? So what did schools teach you about money, right? This book is about what school did not teach you, right? And so financial literacy is this idea of like education around money and investing and different things, right? Assets versus liabilities, income statements, right? If all of these words sound foreign to you, right, that's totally okay. They were foreign to me as well too. And the big thing that I really, really want to, actually, I've got a couple of different points. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the cash flow quadrant really quick. If you have not seen the cash flow quadrant, don't worry, I had not seen this either. And when I saw this, it really, really blew my mind. And so, from a young age, right, we go to schools, right? We are in the school system, we get good grades and we graduate and we go to college. And, in school and in college, right, they really educated us on becoming employees, right? That employee mindset, right? So you have a job, you are trading time for money, and this is where 95% of all the people are. And this is where 5% of all of the money is, right? And so if a lot of this is foreign, right, this is where the majority of the world is. This is what we are taught in schools. And in order to learn more and really further your financial education, right, you've got to continue and keep reading books and educating yourself on these terms, right? And so this idea of trading time for money, right, we've been taught from a young age to graduate from college and then get a job, right, and get a job and work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, whatever it looks like for you. And, you work that job for about, 40, 45 years until you're 65, 70 years old, right? And then you are given this beautiful opportunity to retire, right? And so retirement, right, at 65, 70 years old, when you're like old and all the things, right, it's like, no, I really want to encourage you to shift your perspective and really just tap into this idea of something totally different. This is going to completely blow your mind, right? And so most people, they start off in the E quadrant, right, on the left hand side. This is where 95% of all the people are. And a lot of people, they transition from employee mindset to self-employed. And so now not only do you have a job, but you own a job. And so you're still trading time for money, but you get to set your rate. And so you're trading time for more money, right? So this is going to be your typical coach or consultant, right, doing one-on-one coaching sessions, different things like that, right? And so what I really want to educate you on today is transitioning from the left-hand side of the cash flow quadrant into the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, right? And so this is this idea of the cost of investing, right? We aren't educated on this. This is where 5% of all of the people are and 95% of all of the money. And right, and so why there are only 5% of the people and 95% of the money is because this is the continued education, right? This is, what comes next, right? The educating yourself on financial literacy, right? So literacy in school, right? We're taught, to read and write and, all of these different things, and we're not educated on money. And money is this beautiful resource that, gives us the things to be able to dream bigger, right? To step into this place of dreaming, right? And so when you move into the right hand side, one of the ways that you can really, expand, turn money into more money is by becoming a, oops, oh, hold on, I've got a call coming in. Let me just silence my phone. Right, and so moving into the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, right? And so becoming a business owner, and so now you own a system, right? People plus systems equals more money, right? And so this is idea of franchising, right? So owning a business that has a franchise, and so now you're really duplicating, right? And so what I really want to encourage you to take a further look into is the I quadrant, right? And so now you own investments. And so what you are doing here is you are trading money for more money, right? You're taking your money and you're getting a return on investment, right? And so we are not educated on this in traditional schooling right now. And so it takes further education to really understand this idea of investing, right? And so if you've never invested before, right, it can feel really, 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 really scary, right? And I only know because I felt the same exact way. I was like, oh, I've never done this before. Like I've never, I had no experience, right? And so this whole thing was completely foreign to me. And so just for a moment, I want you to really think about this idea of a balance sheet, right? And so a balance sheet is assets and liabilities, right? And so we've been taught to invest in liabilities, right? And liabilities can be, your car, your home is a liability, right? Liabilities are, things that aren't necessarily going to pay you back over time, right? A home can also be if you have a second property and you're receiving a rental income from that, right? So that can be where you can shift from this to being a liability to an asset, right? And so assets are items or, things that can pay you back over time, that give you a return on investment, right? Whether it be a franchise or an investment in something that's going to give you, return on your investment over time. And so what we really want to think about is return on investment based on time, right? And so many of you, myself included, invested in, a college education. After I graduated from high school, I went on to college, right? And so many of us, we invest in college, right? And so it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? If you are going to become a doctor or a lawyer, right, you've maybe spent like $400,000 to, go through 4 to 12 years and maybe even more than that worth of education, right? And so it's a big investment. And what really people don't really actually considered is, after 4 to 12 years, right, how much are you actually going to be receiving back initially, right? So just for example, for me, I went to college and when I graduated, I got offered a job, right? And I was going to be earning like way less than I was actually receiving at the restaurant that I was working at, right? So I was working at a restaurant aside going to college, and I was making pretty decent money. And so when I got offered this job after college, I was going to be receiving a lot less money. And so when I thought about it moving forward, I was actually going to have to keep working in the restaurant alongside doing this job, right? And so I don't know how many people get out of college and are in this same boat, right? Of like just continuing. Like I didn't even get a job in my field. I just continued working in restaurants and bartending. I actually ended up getting into bartending and realized that there was so much money in bartending. I had crazy schedules, right? Working from like 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. And it was, it was just better for my pocketbook to keep doing that, right? And so I didn't actually utilize my college degree. And that's just the name of the game, right? I didn't necessarily look at the return on investment as far as time goes, right? And so if you think about it, right, say for example, you decided to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, right? And you invested $400,000 in in schooling, right? And so you graduate from college, and now, just thinking about it, for an example, one person that is in our community, right? She is in an environment, right, in a place where she has the glass ceiling for her as a doctor. She can only earn $120,000, based on where she lives, and just different statistics like that. And so the max that she can earn is $120,000, and so investing 400 plus $1,000 and being able to earn $120,000, she's literally at a negative 75%, right? And so if you think about the cost of investing in a business, in an asset that's going to be able to give you a return on investment, in whatever it takes for you, right? It's going to look a little bit different. Some people get return on investment in 30 days. Some people, it takes them 30 months, right? Everybody's a little bit different based on your journey, right? And so what you've really got to understand, that this is an investment in a digital marketer, right? You're becoming a digital marketer. You're going back to school to become a digital marketer. And so say, for example, you go for the strategy that's a $10,000 investment, right? So many people, they just don't understand. Hi. Whoop.